I am resident of Colorwood for YouTube. Joel Sains. That's my buddy Daniel Culver. That's my buddy Patrick McCray. We're here to cover the movie Aliens, starring Sigourney Weaver. Her character is Ripley. She is the lone survivor of the Nostromo, and this film takes place 200 years later. She awakens from a deep sleep. She has a lot of nightmares, including a xenomorph coming out of her chest, which was one of the very, very scary opening. So, Patrick, first, what did you think of the plot to this sequel?
It's marvelously tight. I mean, there's nothing wasted in the film. It is the movie. It is the opposite of Alien, and yet the same in so many ways. But it's the opposite in that Alien is just this slow burning existential mystery of when is this thing going to appear, when's it going to come out. And this is a film that, really does a sequel's job, which is to explore logical other alternatives to how that event could have turned out. And, with the title, there's going to be more than one. That's going to be more than one trouble. So how do we confront them? Well, we still keep the heroes working class, which tends to be a trend in the Alien movies. But instead, they're these highly trained Marines, and it's an equal fight. And so how are they gonna come out on top? And only one of them does. Ironically, the one who's not the Marine. Well, two actually. Newt survives also, and I guess half of Bishop survives. So really, again, kind of the outsiders of that world are the ones who rise to the top.
Yeah. Daniel, what did you think of the plot of this movie?
I thought it was pretty good. Like Patrick said, like there's more than one alien. So, the title is even like it fits, like, like he was saying a little bit, yeah, I'd say it's pretty good.
Now, I was telling Patrick this before we started this ever. A good companion to both Alien and this movie is the movie Outland with Sean Connery, because it takes place in the same universe as those films. And when you watch that movie, you can, and me and Bush covered it, you can really see how easy it is for an alien organism to sort of, first of all, for the Weyland-Yutani organization to be corrupt, and two, for an alien organism to wipe out the humanity, because in Outland, there's a lot of people who do a lot of shady shit. Um, and really, Connery's character is the only one who's willing to stop it in a lot of ways.
And Frances Sternhagen, don't forget her.
Yeah, her too. Sorry,
That's a
Frances.
doctor joke.
Yeah, she great actress, by the way. But in this movie, man, Bill Paxton's here. Bill Paxton is the only actor to be killed by Terminator, Predator, and Alien. Amazing.
He's a good director too.
Yeah. I will say that what I found interesting about this movie most is because the colonial Marines. I mean, they sort of get into them in this movie because they're a part of it, which is really interesting. They call the aliens bugs, but Sigourney Weaver's trying to warn them, like, look, that's not what this is. This is not what you think it is. It's much more dangerous. But no one's listening to her. I would say this is very opposite of Predator, because you have somebody who knows about the aliens, but just nobody's listening to Ripley for whatever reason. So here's my sort of curveball question with my regular question. One, because we know there's a Weyland-Yutani plant in this movie, how much do you think they intentionally misled the colonial Marines, Weyland-Yutani?
Totally.
I'd say they did too.
Yeah. And my second question is, do you guys think that Weyland-Yutani knew about, they already knew about because they did know about it in the first movie. They kept tabs on what was going on the planet. They knew the aliens were there.
Yeah, and they send, I think, one of their more incompetent employees, the Paul Reiser character,
Yeah.
out with Burke, out with them. And I'm sure Burke knows about all of this, and Burke's instructions, of course, are to not get one of those things in your mouth.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they picked him because they thought, oh, he'll get one of those things in his mouth. If anyone will wind up infected by this thing, it'll be him. So as long as they get him into a stasis chamber, we're gold. We're fine.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. I watched this as a kid. I was shocked to see Paul Reiser as a heel.
This was the first movie I had never seen. Diner, which was his first major movie. So this is the first time I saw Paul Reiser. This was years before Mad About You. So it was very easy to see him as a weasel.
Yeah.
And he likes that corporate weasel. And it's basically the Giovanni Ribisi character from Avatar. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Once James Cameron has something that works, he doesn't go away from it.
What did you guys think of all the because there's a lot of aliens in this movie. What did you guys think of all the xenomorphs that we got in this?
They're real scary. I mean, I didn't really tell the difference between them, except for obviously the Queen. And the Queen really ups the danger value of all of this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'd say they're all pretty cool looking.
I like how dark it looks right before the aliens attack, because they're blending in with the darkness with their skin and stuff. And it's like as soon as they shoot at these aliens, they're gonna get acid on them and stuff. Because that was the trouble with the first movie. It's like you couldn't just shoot these things because they got acid for blood.
Yeah.
And so this movie, it's in every way a shoot 'em up in a lot of ways, but it takes that shooting element and it goes, you know what, your guns just aren't going to work right away here. The aliens come after them in a large group of numbers. They end up like boarding themselves up in a somewhere else. Ripley goes in and saves what's left of the Colonial Marines, which I love how she does it. What a movie! It's one of the best action horror movies of the '80s. Where do you guys like rank this with other action horror movies?
Well, I mean, I don't. Action horror has become more of a genre since Aliens.
Yeah.
I think the idea of really equipping the good guys with the equipment to take out the bad guys in horror is something pretty new.
Yeah.
By the time Aliens is being made, and it it's all adrenaline, so you have the same kind of emotional charge, and you just keep redirecting it, sometimes to horror, sometimes to triumph, and it may very well be James Cameron's best movie, probably this and True Lies, for me. It's because the Terminator stuff is like, yeah, I get it. But these are films with a lot of unpredictability and texture and nuance, and I like that about them.
Wait, James Cameron made this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. You know what's funny is he actually made Avatar.
Yeah, that's why I made the Avatar comparison earlier.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I'll tell you this. I've only seen Avatar once. Aliens I've seen a number of times.
Because Aliens is good and Avatar is bad, and a bad movie is a movie you don't want to see again.
That's true. You know what's funny is he may have I don't know when he wrote Avatar, but apparently Avatar was written in like the 80s at some point, but he waited till the technology to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish the technology had just stayed out of his grasp a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, the worst part about I tried to watch this on television. And when you watch that movie on television with the commercials, it's like,
oh my God. I'm
It's
surprised
like
you're not still watching it.
I'm like, please. I looked at. Julie walked in. She goes, "Are you still watching that movie?" I'm like, "It's long."
Yeah, it's like Cleopatra or Ben-Hur. It just keeps going.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's longer than Ben-Hur. I think I
It
don't know.
certainly feels like it. It sure could have used a chariot race.
It could have. It could have. See,
I,
I would have been down for that if there would have been a chariot race in that movie. I'd have
would
been
have been
down
great.
for
And James Cameron likes Charlton Heston. He used him in True Lies.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Fury, as the real Nick Fury.
Yes. Yes. The one of the best movie references to the Omega Man and
Yeah, Omega Division, and he's got the
yeah.
eye patch.
Yeah. Yeah. It's True Lies, great movie. I'll tell you who steals this movie. Two people, Michael Bay and Newt
Yeah.
and the actress Newt. The
Oh,
lady
she's terrific.
yeah. I'm gonna look her up. I'm sorry.
When they talk about child actors being problematic just in terms of not delivering good performances, just look at Newt in this. She's no Jake Lloyd in the best sense, and it's unfair to pick on Jake Lloyd. It is a tribute though to the good child actors, who really knock it out of the park because they don't they
Bless
don't
you.
have years to train. So they're going on native instinct and I guess threats from their parents, and it's a marvel when you get a David Hennessy like performance and it just knocks it out of the park.
Yeah. Carrie Henn played Newt. So yeah, really, really talented
Probably
actress.
appearing at autograph shows a lot, I suspect.
Probably, I would say so. This is her most famous role, obviously. Um, to see Sigourney Weaver, I do. The symbolism in this movie is good because when you think about that beginning where the aliens coming out of Ripley, in a lot of ways, she plays mother to Newt, protecting her and making sure she's safe, and even going after her after she gets taken. Um, it's a hell of a thing to see in the movie where you see because I remember my mom would never, as soon as she realized like a kid was in a horror movie, she would never watch it. Like she would never watch Aliens,
Interesting.
That's
and
understandable.
and like I right, I understood that too, but she didn't like prevent me from watching, which I appreciated. And I'm thinking, you know what? The movie does a really good job of having Sigourney Weaver save this little girl, but in many ways, this little girl survived on her own for all that other time, which I liked a lot. I liked that message where, hey, out of all these adults that got taken and captured, and you, because remember when the Marines walk in, you see all the people on the wall and like the holes in the chest and like
Yeah.
that's something. There's actually a cut scene where it's a deleted scene, I think. I'll find it for you guys, where Paul Reiser's character is up on the wall and he grabs Ripley. He says, "Please kill me." This is not in the movie, but it's a deleted scene. It's a hell of a. I wish it was in the movie. It's a hell of a scene. Um, what did you guys think of the people like put up on the wall? They're there for the face huggers. What did you guys think?
It's horrific. I mean, in the truest sense. I mean, it's a riff on a scene that was cut from Alien, where Sigourney Weaver finds Captain Dallas, up on the wall, and he's being used as a gestation station for these things. So that's what
And
they're being used for is in the breeding process.
oh, yeah, and
Wow.
I could see like these. I could see these aliens do that because they do have some other messed up stuff. So why not that too?
Yeah. Have you ever seen Alien Resurrection, Patrick?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but yeah.
Yeah. That movie is crazy. I like how we have basically space pirates delivering stuff to the
Yeah.
Utani military. But here in this movie, I'll tell you too, Lance Henriksen being a droid is just absolutely wonderful, and I love how his face he sells me as an android. Now, did you guys ever hear that he was actually considered to play the Terminator?
No, I didn't
No,
actually.
he would have been good.
Yeah, he would have been. It's another reason why he's in the movie Terminator as a cop, because James Cameron liked him a lot. Like
He had
he's like,
used him in Piranha 2: The Spawning just a few years before.
really
Yeah. Yeah, he was the
cool,
hero of that.
cool. I mean, he's been in some movie like his acting credits is long, but what an actor he is. I mean, he's so good as this android. I love the knife sequence he does with the with Hicks, and he's got his hand on the table and he's taking the knife. What did you guys think of that scene?
I really liked it because it justifies Sigourney Weaver's fear of them.
Yeah,
Here's this thing with a knife behaving recklessly, and it also shows that he's precise and ultimately harmless.
yeah, yeah. Daniel, what did you think?
Yeah, I agree with Patrick. Like, yeah, I think he did a good job describing, like, you know, yeah, like, could you imagine, like, if you could just stab one of the xenomorphs, like, if it was that easy?
Bishop would have been an interesting match for the Xenomorph. But we got to remember he's not like the Terminator. So if he gets sprayed with acid, he's got all this weird biomechanical stuff with the milk in him and all that other jazz, and it would do a lot more damage. As opposed to the Terminator against the alien would have been an interesting match because the acid goes, and I imagine his endoskeleton is resistant to it.
Oh yeah,
I like how the Queen comes up from behind on Bishop and just
Oh
cuts him
wow,
up. How awesome is that scene?
it's terrific,
Yeah,
and it's and it's a showdown between two mothers,
oh yeah,
two aggrieved mothers who lost their kids.
yeah,
The Queen has lost her kids, and Ripley has lost her child in a
yeah, it's true.
much weirder sense, but she has, and she's in danger of losing another one, the surrogate Newt.
yeah. Yeah, because I think this is the movie where they actually do introduce um, Amanda Ripley, which is Ellen's daughter. On like there's a video of Ellen's daughter, I think, in this movie.
Yeah, I think that may be in the cut scenes. It's in a longer version of the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. Sorry, I'm remembering the video. Um, but I will say that you're right. She does. She feels that new. When she goes in and gets it, one of those scenes where she points the flamer at the eggs, and she gets the two aliens to back off, and the Queen tells the aliens like without saying a word, because the aliens don't talk, like to back off. And you're thinking, man, this is not going to be over. Like, but the fact that she gets out of there with Newt and then has to fight the Queen alien in like this loader thing is just, I don't know when James Cameron came up with that concept, but it's a badass concept.
It's a wonderful idea. I saw it in a Matt Helm movie, a Dean Martin Matt Helm movie, The Ambushers. It was
Oh,
the first time I saw Power Loaders, and I think he just remembered it and thought I can do something with this.
That's cool. That's awesome. Did they like, were they operating them the same way?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they were a little smaller. They were used to lift beer barrels around,
Oh, okay.
oh
but
wow.
uh, but yeah,
That's awesome. I'll have to go look that movie up. That would
it's
be
a
awesome.
it's a it's a strangely anachronistic moment. It's a really cool moment of technology in a movie that love the Matt Helm movies, but it's not the best of the Matt Helm movies.
Uh, Daniel, what did you think of the power loader scene?
Um, I'd say it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's
They
really
established Ripley's, street cred with it early on in the movie
Oh, that's
also. So it has
yeah,
this Chekhov's gun quality, where if you introduce a gun in the first act and you show it in the second act, then you got to fire it in the third act. And, again, she kind of shows off her working class credentials at being able to operate this.
yeah. Like I've played some alien shooter games. Like I played Alien Colonial Marines, and I gotta tell you that pulse rifle that's in the movie, it kicks like a son of a bitch in the video game.
Really.
Just say,
Oh,
but yeah, it's fun. Personally, I prefer the shotgun, but
oh
that's
yeah.
just me. Um, with this, with this really really awesome sequel because it is. Um, what did you guys think of Alien 3?
I didn't like it.
Oh yeah. To be honest, I gotta rewatch these movies.
Yeah.
I saw it once, and I've never watched it again. It gave me nothing of what I wanted in these films, and it gave me a lot of what I didn't want in these films.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
I
Yeah,
think them having like one alien in that movie and trying to like return it to like a more of a space slasher, it's not that falls flat. What falls flat is you set it in a prison prisoners who are trying to reform, which I get. They don't have really weapons there. It's like, how more screwed can you be? You think?
yeah. And the idea was that this sense of limitations would cause tension, but I honestly feel like Alien 3 would have been better between Alien and Aliens.
Yeah,
Because once you've really had the the lavish, military, 7-course meal that James Cameron's serving up, uh, I felt like I had been punished. I felt like I was getting something taken away because I wanted to see what more weapons and more. Let's put an alien in a power loader and see what it does, and all of that. And it was like, oh, okay, this.
yeah.
It's interesting you say that because do you guys watch the Karate Kid movies?
I know I've seen the first one.
Oh yeah, it
I've
kind of has that going on too. Like the third one should have been the second one.
Yeah, I can see that.
I've seen all four of them.
Oh, there's actually 5 if you count the remake.
Oh, okay, yeah, fine.
Oh, unless you have. Did you see the? I think it's called the next Karate Kid. It has a girl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's the first one, the second one where they go to Japan, the third one where Terry Silver is like the villain, one of the villains. The fourth one where the girl, what's her name? The actress, I forget.
Oh, Hilary Swank.
Yeah, Hillary Swank is Miyagi's new student, but the villain isn't Cobra Kai. And then there's the remake with Will Smith's son. Yeah, with
daughter.
Jackie Chan. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're making another one too. I don't know if you heard about that.
I
What's that?
haven't.
Oh, they're making another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The
it's actually
Karate
interesting though
Embryo.
because Jackie Chan and the guy that played Daniel are both going to be in it.
Cool. Cool. Let's see. We're trying to look up some production for you guys. Let's see. Oh, here we go. By July of 1984, Lawrence Gordon had replaced Lizen with few projects in development. Gordon looked at sequels to Fox's existing properties and came across the Alien 2 treatment. He said he was surprised that no one had purchased it. Production of The Terminator was delayed for 9 months because Arnold Schwarzenegger was contractually obligated to film Conan the Destroyer in 1984. Cameron used the time to develop his treatment, expanding it to 90 pages. Damn. He drew ideas from Mother, one of his story concepts about an alien on a space station involving a power loader suit.
Ah,
Because of his low expectations for the Terminator, Cameron had spent much of his free time during its production developing and trying out ideas for Alien 2. That's interesting. Um, that's neat. Um, it's I think just a look standpoint because like one's a great film, but two in a lot of ways, what the best compliment I can give a sequel in every way is that not only is it its own movie, it's a nice follow up to the first film.
yeah.
Um, it
Yeah,
really
that's
is,
true.
and the fact their biggest risk wasn't just jumping 200 years. It was the fact that you had literally, because there were no kids in the first film, that they used a child actress to sort of give you even more sympathy toward the humans. Because at that time, they had to see where horror was, where people were more rooting for the villain than anything else. Um, I like that aspect most of this film. What do you guys think?
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It works.
Works.
I have no more questions for you guys. Is there
That's
anything?
fine. I'm a little tired on this end, so I think
So-
that's it's a good
Oh yeah.
good tip of the hat to Alien.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. If anyone's wondering why I wasn't very active, I actually haven't seen this in a while, but I decided to do the video anyway.
It's
well, good.
okay. It's okay.
Good. It's good to hear you.
I'll contact Alan Thursday and see if he can do the Stuntman Friday.
Okay.
So we'll go from there.
Great.
I gotta
And
watch the
Dust
rest.
Boat. Dust Boat
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah, that we'll do does boat tomorrow for sure. I'm gonna watch the rest of that.
Are these on
Links.
four? Okay.
What's that?
I was gonna ask, are these on 4K? They're probably not, but I have them on DVD anyway. But I'm just wondering if they're on
Oh
4K.
yeah, they've had lavish restorations.
Oh yeah. The
Okay.
I think even Alien there's the director's cut of Alien and the final cut and all that.
Oh yeah, I did
Um,
see that. There's a director's cut on YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have like the 4-pack where it's the 4 Alien movies. That's what I got at Walmart.
Yep.
So
All right.
link to Patrick Cray's Dark Shadows, David Cabow's going to be in the description box. Link to Daniel Culver's YouTube channel, Killenberg, is going to be in the description box. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Yeah, good night.